Hello, 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 my darlings. How are you? It's Friday. You know, Jordan doesn't work on the weekend, so you got to wait all the way to Monday to hear something new as I give you, I think I'm still calling it my virtual autobiography, my virtual memoir, my virtual self. Listen, so we left off. We're down to 2015. I run through this life here. I guess I need to hurry up and get it told. So I'll go back and catch up. I went and found some great photographs. If I had the book going, I could put the photographs in the book. But it's kind of hard to just see. I don't know if I want to do all that. Then I might do a show where I just say photographs. Does that make sense? I don't know. All right, so we're at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. You know what? Oh, I left Florence, Alabama, because I was going to get run out of Florence, Alabama if I didn't leave. You know, my daughter needed to be her own self. She didn't need a mama hovering over her. I just wanted to be up there just to see what it was, who was what, who was with whom, who did what. You know, where was my daughter staying? Where was she living? Who are these people? And then I said, you need to come home. And let me just tell you something. Not only did I say I need to come home, but my spirit was like, you got to leave now. My spirit said, you have to meet some new people. And I didn't understand what that meant. I understand now. My spirit said, you have to meet some new people. I'm a little uncomfortable. I have some pain going on today that is very painful. Whoo, wee. I'm gonna keep going though. So my spirit said, you gotta leave Florence, Alabama. And I said, okay, I'm gonna leave. No, my spirit said, no. Now. It was one of those things like I couldn't sleep at night. You know how the spirit got on you and I couldn't sleep at night. So why did I have to leave? I came back to Atlanta. I found the house in just a mess. Only because one of those times we came home, I guess we didn't turn the water off, or we didn't turn it all the way off. But I had to come home. And the spirit was saying you had to come home. I had to so let's not go to the student. So I needed to work. I wasn't wealthy. I was wealthy in love and friends, but wasn't wealthy in what you needed to make something happen at the grocery store. So I applied back at Clark Atlanta, and I heard that I knew somebody that said they needed a French teacher at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. And then my daughter's old boss was dean of the School of Humanities. And I was like, wow. I said, wow, or social sciences. Anyway, I said, I need to get an application going. So that put a pin in that. The late Rosalind Pope, who wrote The Appeal for Human Rights for the Atlanta Student Movement, was my friend. And she was in town making her move back to Texas. And I said, oh, no. I said, you can't go back to Texas. You got to stay here with me. We need you here in Atlanta. She was going home with her kids. I said, no. Stay here with us a little while. She said, well, Georgianne, I don't have a job. I said, I'll find you a job. Just give me a minute. So I said, oh, I have an interview. I got an interview. I said, I have an interview down in Atlanta Metropolitan State College. I said, so they might need somebody. So I called and I said, I have a friend, to the person that was going to be interviewing me. Now, who does this? I said, I have a friend, Dr. Rosin Pope, and she wrote the manifesto and the Atlanta Student Movement, blah, blah, blah. I said, and she's looking for a job in humanities or English. You know, I was kind of vague. Because he knew me, he said, well, tell her to come and bring her credentials. So I said, Rosin, guess what? You're going to go with me on my interview for my job in the French department. She says, how are you going to do that? I said, he told me I could bring you. So she said, okay, so we gather up all, I said, now get all your stuff together. Oh, she gets her PhD paperwork in humanities together. So here we go. We get in there and I introduce my friend, Dr. Rosin Pope, to the dean. Then I'm ready to start talking about the French position. And he talks to her the entire interview. The entire interview was with Dr. Rosin Pope. And he says, do you have your this, that, and other? She had her teaching certificate. She had her degree, copy of her degree in humanities. She had her whatever, all her stuff. He said, good. He said, because how soon can you start? Hello. You know how you raise your hand in church? I was like, hello. Hello. He says, he says, how soon can you start? To Dr. Rosin Pope. And she said, well, I can start. You know how sweet Rosin is. I can start whenever you need me. He said, well, can you come down here tomorrow? And so we can do, you know, that. And she says, yes. And I said, so, you know, the French job? He said, oh, I have to get back with you. I said, well, thank you. And I gathered myself without crying. And we get in the car. And I started crying. And Rosin was like, it's okay, Jordan, I'm sorry. But you told me to come. I said, it's all right. It's okay. Because I wanted you to be here. And now you have a job. And she was so happy. I had to be happy for my friend. I had to be happy for my friend. That's the story I told, or at least Reverend Eric Thomas told on my behalf at her going home services in Texas. I didn't get a chance to tell it in Atlanta because I didn't get a chance to speak at her home going services. But I'm saying it now. I'll always remember that story. It's a number of lessons in there. It's a number of lessons. You know, it's free-heartedness, being free-hearted, being giving, not being jealous, being friends. We were deltas and friends, and you have to, being kind. There's a lot of lessons in that, you know. And I'm glad I had all those lessons. He eventually called me. And I eventually became the French teacher down at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. Why is that important? Because there was an urgency for me to leave. My pain, I'm sorry, y'all. Whew. There was an urgency for me to leave Florence, Alabama. And the urgency was I had to meet two people. I had to meet them at Atlanta Metropolitan. I had to meet some more people. But I had to meet two people that have been in my life since 2015. And let me tell you why I had to meet L. Cornell Pearson and Sean Walker. They were in my first French class when I got the job. And we probably wouldn't have met like this if one day the computer wasn't working. There was a number of things that weren't working. And I said, Mercury is in retrograde. I didn't say it for them. I just said it to myself. I said it out loud. I was talking out loud. I said, Mercury's in retrograde. And so everybody doesn't know that, but I don't know. But they knew it. Those two, Robert, a couple more people looked at me like, what you know about that? So we became close after that. I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't even be doing this one today, but I got to get it done either way. So I'm getting it done. It's such pain. Anyway, we became friends. So why did I have to come back? Because they took French 1 or 2 from me. They did very well, of course. And I had some lessons to learn also. But I didn't know that. So let's go with why I had to rush back. Let me just talk about Atlanta Metropolitan State College for a minute. I didn't know a whole lot about it. It was like a junior college to me. And it wasn't like teaching I taught at Clark Atlanta University at the same time. And so we had different kind of student at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. I liked that student. Not that I didn't like that student any better at any other school, but this was a different kind of student to me. To me, Atlanta Metropolitan State College students they knew they were at a community college, so to speak, that they had serious jobs, serious issues, serious challenges, but they didn't let that stop them. They had issues that I didn't know you could have in college, but they had them. I don't know, it was something about that student that made me want to do more. Just do more, just to give a helping hand, because they needed not only the class. It talking about holistic. You know, like when I was back at East Point Elementary School, with those 4 schools, back in the other videos, you had to teach holistically down at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. It was a great school. The teachers were committed. Sometimes you had to start from a level that you didn't think you needed to start from at this point. But you would start wherever you needed to start in order to help that student. That's what I liked about the faculty at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. That's what I appreciated about the faculty. And what I appreciated for myself also. I remember stopping an entire class because one student said, "I just don't get it." It's okay. We're ready to go and do this thing. Hold up, everybody. I'm going to go back a minute. You can't leave. You're talking about not leaving a child behind. My position was you should not leave anybody behind. And especially at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. It was just a commitment that you had to have, because the administration had the same commitment. And so we all knew there was a special student down there. Now, let me tell you how I messed up. These 2 people said, "I'm graduating." And I was thinking, oh, how wonderful. They said, "I'm getting our associate degree. And I'll be moving on." I opened my mouth and put my foot in it. I said, "What?" I said, "An associate degree? You kidding me, right?" They said, "No, that's what we get." I said, "Oh, no. No. That's good. When you gonna get the rest of it?" They said, "Well, no, that's all we need." I said, "Oh, no, you need the rest of it." The female said, I want to go to Spelman, but I know Spelman's not going to take me from over here, and I don't have the money, and just gave me all kind of reasons why she couldn't go to Spelman. And the other person said, "I got to go back to work. I got a job, and plus this is going to up my pay on my job." I didn't understand any of what they were saying. It was like a foreign language for real to me. I said no, and no. To the one that wanted to go to Spelman, I said, "Listen, smart." I said, "Listen, I'm going to write a letter. I got to write a letter for you because Spelman will miss you. You know what? We probably have missed a lot of people just based on them saying, Spelman won't take me. I'm not good enough for Spelman. Coming out of the school, Spelman is not going to look over here at my little school. How many brainiacs have we missed? I wonder. Anyway, she got into Spelman. She got the blue envelope and was able to finish. He, the male person, he went back and got the rest of his degree at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. I had to leave Florence because I had to write her a letter. I had to leave Florence, Alabama, because I had to write her letter so that she can get what she needs to get. Now, this is an accomplished woman. She's a sculptor. Ooh. Caitlin style. Elizabeth style. You know. He is a digital genius. What would have happened if I hadn't come? I don't know. I'm not calling myself the savior, by no means. I'm just saying how you have to follow your mind. You have to stay tuned into the bigger picture. You have to hear God whispering in your ear. You have to hear a voice that says, you gotta go. I was up in Florence and the voice said, you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm so glad I listened. I'm so glad I listened. Have you listened to the voice that speaks to you? The last time the voice spoke to you, what did you say? Oh, I'm not going to do that. I tell my students all the time, listen to that voice that'll save your life. I'm here not because I did all the right things. I'm here by grace. Because many times I didn't listen to the voice. But this last time with coming out of Florence, I had an urgency to get here. And it's been to my plus. So Atlanta Metropolitan State College may not have had all the bells and whistles, but it had heart. It had love. There was a desire to learn. And that's what I'm asking you about going to a community college, or maybe not being where you want to be in life. Are you somewhere though? Are you making an effort to get somewhere? The students at Atlanta Metropolitan State College said, I got to go somewhere. I know I can't go over there with them. I can't go do that. Maybe in their mind they said that, you know. Maybe it was the financial. You got to start somewhere. And they started at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. I am so happy to this day that I had the opportunity to I'm going to tell you, God has a plan for us all. If I hadn't showed up, those two people wait a minute, wait. They may have done well anyway. Don't Georgianne is not taking any claim. No. All Georgianne is saying is that you gotta hear his word and you got to follow it. You got to hear that nudge. That nudge will say you got to go. You got to get up and listen and know that you got to do what he said. And he told me to get to Atlanta. And if I hadn't gotten to Atlanta, I wouldn't have been able to say with a smile on my face that these two individuals are college graduates, started out at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. Many of the professors who I work with, I had a lot of respect for them. They're not there now. We're not there now. Something happened over there. I don't have all the details. But it was just such a good group of committed professors, committed to the students, committed to providing information to extend and expand their knowledge base, committed to going the extra mile, staying late, being available by phone or text or email at any time. This was the commitment. The commitment to start wherever the student was and not make fun of that student, but to say, I got to do it. Let me help you get there. We have to commit ourselves at some point, if we're going to be helping or teaching, to go the extra mile. Are you committed right now? Are you teaching or working somewhere or doing something? What about being committed to yourself? R.C. Blakes, that's my new friend. He doesn't know it. I just listened to a video on forgiving yourself. If you go back to my video, The Power of Forgiveness, I make a little statement about forgiving yourself. But R.C. Blakes has one on forgiving yourself. That was powerful for me to hear that. And I'm glad that I listened to the word, listened to the voice that got me up out of Florence. One thing, my daughter flourished and found her husband up there. And for me, I was able to help. I was able to teach. Rosalind Pope, Dr. Pope, was able to get employment and work somewhere. Students that had the benefit of being a student under the eminent Dr. Rosalind Pope. I was able to extend some knowledge, expand somebody's knowledge base in French. It was just an amazing opportunity. And it all boils down to just following the voice that speaks to you, that encourages you, that nudges you to do the right thing. So Atlanta Metropolitan State College, thank you. Thank you for taking me in. Thank you for my students that helped me. And I will move from there, Atlanta Metropolitan State College. That was 15. So let me tell you about one of them. He encouraged me to go to Starbucks and rewrite my book once again. I promise you I was going to bring that book in here. Now that's crazy. It's too far back there. I'll bring it next time. Guide to the Second Time Bride. Yes, I said it. Guide to the Second Time Bride. I wrote this pamphlet in 1976. And L. Cornell Pearson said, you should go to Starbucks on Cascade and write your book. Get up every day and make it a job. And I did. I met some great people in Starbucks. You know, you just see how this thing is going. I wouldn't even think about going to Starbucks on Cascade had it been for the student that I met when I went to Atlanta Metropolitan State College. Both of them, Sean Walker, or now I'll call their name, okay, Sean Walker and L. Cornell said, go and write the book. One day I brought them all my stuff. You know, things that I wanted to sing and poems that I wanted to recite and spoken word that I had written and plays that I brought all this to class one day and just dropped it on the desk. And then one day I brought all my stones. I didn't know these different stones had meaning like they have, you know. I learned a lot from them. They encouraged me to be who this person is now. I got the book written, and it had not been for Sean and Cornell and Dr. Wanda Spivey. Oh, let me go back. And let me not go there yet. Anyway, I never would have gotten my one-woman show. We're going to get to the one-woman show part. Because, wow. You know, I was in Florence, Alabama. That's where I was. I was in Florence, Alabama. And now I'm going from Florence, Alabama to Atlanta Metropolitan State College. In 15, 16, I started writing seriously. 17, 18, 19, and 20. I went back to Clark Atlanta University. I just started teaching and living and teaching. Didn't have a real plan, just glad to be alive. Because in 19, that second cancer came, 2019. So between 2015 and 2019, the second cancer came. It was emergency surgery, colon cancer. That's that bad shape I was in. By this time, I met some other people I love dearly. And I was just glad to meet. If I hadn't come out of Florence when I did, and meet the people when I did, they wouldn't have gotten what they needed. They may have, but I was able to give them what they needed, and they were able to give me what I needed, that boost, that push, that love, that extra caring that made me believe I could do some things. They did that. And that's how I made it down to 2019. I guess just talking and listening to them, we became friends, and we just stayed friends and encouraged one another till everybody got out of school. They finished in 2018, both of them. I was so proud. I was so proud. Because 2019, your girl got colon cancer, emergency. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. It's the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. You have to listen to that small, still voice. And when you do, it will tell you what to do, how to do it. You can't go wrong with God on your side.